the Gurudas was so nice, and the devotees were so nice on their Sankirtan on Oxford Street. They invited me back to the Petterton Street to have some prashad, some eat, etc., etc., etc. No pressure, and one thing led to another, basically. You know, I was feeling there was no pressure at all. Like 1 hour on Monday, and then a week later it was like 2 hours. Then another week it was like 3 hours. You know, so it grew. You know, and so when I did meet Srila Prabhupada at Ascot, I just they said to me, "Oh, we're going to Ascot to see our spiritual teacher. Do you want to come?" And I said, "Okay, no problem." You know, I just took it very calmly. You know, no big deal. You know, nothing special. Anyway, but anyway, the thing was that as soon as I met him, he was just sitting very calmly, very quietly, very peacefully in a tranquil pose. My knees just gave way, and I literally, instead of just bowing, I collapsed. I was really, really nervous. I thought, oh my God, you know, my goodness, you know, his aura, despite the fact that he was in a damp, cold room, his aura was just gold shine. He was shining, you know. It was like rays coming off his body. That's the effect it had on me, you know. And I don't know how to describe it. People say, you know, they have God experiences when they take LSD, you know, but that's neither here nor there anyway. But my mouth was dry. I was just speechless, and the only thing that went through my head at that moment was that this is what I've been looking for all my life, with not a single word being said. It was just body language, silent body language. And I think it was Mukunda or introduced me to Srila Prabhupada and said to him, this is Raz, my material name. He's been coming to the temple for a few days and taking an interest. And Srila Prabhupada said to me, so which country are you from? I said I was born in Pakistan. And he said, so you come from a Muslim family? And I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. And he said, well, we don't have any Muslim disciples in the movement, so maybe you can be the first. And that's why I was named Jai Hari. It was after Haridas Thakur, because he was the first Muslim disciple of Lord Chaitanya, as it were. And it was one of those situations. But even now, I'm older, my private life, my personal life, my business life is centered around what I've learned from being in his presence. And what he was to me was the father I never had. I mean, he could see me, look me in the eyes, and know exactly what I was going through, whether I was frustrated, whether I was tired, whether I was feeling anxious, whether I was feeling happy. He knew. He could just look into my eyes and he knew. I asked a few. One of them was the questions of karma and why certain things happen in the material world, and let's say corruption, civil wars, poverty, hunger, and he said those questions, the answer to them was that they're created by man himself. There was no need for this to happen. If people followed Krishna consciousness, there would not be this scenario. They would, there would be peace. There would be enough for everyone to eat. And but he also answered the question I asked him once about the issue of eating meat, and he said, "This is the question I was looking for a long, long time. What's wrong? What's wrong about eating meat?" And he answered it. And what he said was that if you go to the abattoir, you see the chemical and the emotional trauma that the animal goes through, then it affects you. And what he said was that when you approach a cow or a sheep or an animal to slaughter it for self-consumption, they feel the pain. They know that you're coming to kill them. They're scared. They fear it. And the human being is eating fear. They're not eating meat, they are eating fear. And that's why it is explained why man himself is such an aggressive human being, an aggressive animal, because they've been existing on eating fear. And that's how he explained it. When you eat a steak and all that blood is actually contains fear. That's how he explained it. I always felt that I would only speak when spoken to, out of respect. So if he said to me, "Jai Hari, how are you? What are you doing?" then I would answer him that particular question. I would say, "I distributed 20 Krishna books over the weekend," or whatever, and he would say, "That is wonderful. You are the best book distributor in Europe. How can you sell 20 Krishna books in one weekend?" This is when the book came out. And I'd say, "Well, Srila Prabhupada, I actually don't just give the book, sell the books. I sell the prasadam as well to go with the book. I give them a Simply Wonderful. So when they have a taste of the Simply Wonderful, they want to taste of the Krishna book as well." And he just laughed. He said, "That's the way we should sell our books. That is the secret of selling our books, with prasadam." I always looked at Srila Prabhupada as like a father figure, somebody I could respect, somebody who knew me better than I knew myself. That's the term I was looking for. And somehow he did. He knew me better than I knew myself. And whereas I was thinking of tomorrow or the next week, he was thinking about me the next year. He was planning my future, basically, and or whatever, because he knew that I had certain qualities, whether it's in business, entrepreneurial, management, marketing, and he was, showing me the way to channel it, basically. And because of those ways of him showing me those, I was becoming more and more braver. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared to organize a book stand in Frankfurt, Germany, for the Frankfurt Book Fair. So I organized that myself single-handedly with advice from Mukunda Gurdas and Shamsundar, and just went to Frankfurt selling the books with another devotee. We had a stand, all the ISKCON Krishna books, in Frankfurt, and it was a road into Germany, What you felt when you were with Srila Prabhupada is that you were in the presence of someone who was pure. That's the word, pure. Je anilo premadana koruna prachu